And we're
Uh,
recording.
okay, yeah, so mine's live. All right. Yeah, are you all ready for
Alrighty.
the intros then?
Yeah, I think so.
Word. Okay, here we go. All
As
right.
our beginning of the episode, witty banter and chatter.
Oh, yeah, that's what mine has too. Chatter at beginning. Whatever you guys want to say that's amusing.
That's hilarious.
Quite. Alrighty, well, welcome back to Oddities. It's me, Cassie.
And I'm Kelly. Welcome back to Strangetown.
As per usual, all of our information is in the description. Follow us on social media for 100% of a good time and subscribe to our Patreon for as low as $1 a month.
And what can you get for that low, low price of $1? You get a bonus video episode every week, and we're having a great time with those. Hope you'll join one and join us in the party on that.
Yeah, that's a great deal. Anyway, how are you, Kelly? What have you been up to?
The same old from my end. Not a lot going on. Um, we had a little bit of how to do stuff around the house. We've got some big projects
Mm.
going on. I think the next big thing that we're wanting to do is looking at knocking out the wall in the kitchen and get the kitchen remodel started. But that's a whole another bread box itself. So
Oh, sure, yeah. That'll be nice, though. That'll probably open it up a lot.
yeah, it's one of those daunting things of being a homeowner now where it's like you want to start all these big projects, but then you realize if I start that and I don't finish it in a timely fashion, then I'm left without a kitchen for a while.
Oh yeah, yeah, it definitely. Yeah, it really takes a toll on time for sure. Yeah, we just repainted one of our rooms, but we had to move everything out of it and put all the stuff in the dining room. So, it
Nice.
ate up that whole room while we were doing all the painting and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh we gotta do painting too because the house is this like off yellow color
Oh,
from
okay, yeah.
from the lady that had it before us, and we just haven't gotten around to repainting most of the rooms. Like we repainted our bedroom, and it looks so much better in there. But then you come back out into the rest of the house, and it's still that off yellow.
Oh yeah, trust me, dude. I know that coat of paint will just change everything, especially when you can like open the curtains and let the light hit it. Really see how it, yeah, fills out the room. It's
Right?
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How about for how about for y'all?
Uh, Not too much. Just the same. A little bit of housework here and there, like you said. Yeah, we just redid the office, repainted it. I just got back from a business trip in California. Sales trip. That was pretty cool. Um,
Nice.
yeah, we were doing a big exhibition, and man, it was crazy. There were guys there. They were out like 2 a.m. each morning. Just it was like a binge drinking. I think they only stopped to sleep, and the rest of the time was just drinking. And man, it was insane. I had a couple drinks, and when it would hit like 11 or 12, man, I'd be all ready for bed. I couldn't do it.
I'm old now. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do the bar hop. This is too intense. Yeah. Oh, it was pretty crazy though.
Can't keep up like the olden days.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, jeez. It was reminding me of, yeah, the military. Man, there were guys that could drink there, and yeah, it's the same. Um, I was watching, or I saw the bar tab that the one guy racked up. There's probably like 6 or 7 of us there drinking, and he covered it all, but it was like $400, and
Oh,
it was
jeez.
just, yeah, it was just beer. So at like
Not
seven.
even like the good stuff.
No, no, I'm pretty sure it was like mostly Coors Light.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy stuff. Alrighty. Should we move into the topic of discussion?
Yeah, yeah. What do you have today?
My topic for today is the Braucherei, or what is also known as Pow-wow folk magic. This topic actually comes from one of the listeners and my cousin Caitlin. So thanks, Caitlin, for this topic. It's going to be
Yay,
pretty cool.
Caitlin.
Yeah, so let's see. Of course, Braucherei is a Pennsylvania tradition of ritual healing, or also the powwow. Uh, Comes from the Pennsylvania Dutch language, one of the many vernacular healing systems in North America that combines elements of religion and belief with health and healing. So I guess we'll see if they like to pull in like crystals and certain herbs and stuff.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so let's see. It was primarily passed along via oral tradition. Uh, Encompasses, wide spectrum of rituals from restoring health to preventing illness for both people and livestock. Uh, Using different verbal benedictions, so prayers, gestures. Uh, okay, yeah, the use of everyday objects as well as celestial and calendar observances. Cool. So I guess certain star signs or constellations might be pretty beneficial for healing.
Yeah, whole idea of like lunar cycles and calendar magic.
Right. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I heard if you drink from the Big Dipper, it makes you grow big. Anyhow, uh, yeah, so the practice was not only for healing of the body, but also protection from physical and spiritual harm. Uh, and a lot of these rituals are overlain with Christian symbols in their pattern and content, comprising a veritable wellspring of folk religious expression that is at once symbolic, poetic, and imbued with meaning worthy of serious attention and exploration.
Hmm.
Um, and so anyone who practices brasherai is referred to as a powwower or a browsher, but says the terminology varies by region. Uh, yeah, I
A
kind of like the browser better than
a
powwower.
browser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds pretty fancy.
Right.
All right, so moving on to the origins and practices. It's from early colonial Pennsylvania times because it was a melting pot of various European religious influences. I think probably mostly Christian and Quakers, and I think Protestant was pretty big, right? Weren't they kind of trying to separate from Catholicism
Yeah,
at
around that
that
time.
time?
Yeah. If I
Yeah.
recall my my social studies classes.
Right? Yeah. I remember we had a whole little history class dedicated to Pennsylvania growing up. And yeah, I think it's mostly about William Penn and yeah, the Dutch. uh,
That's funny. I never really thought about that, but yeah, you usually get like a state, like a history education more specific to the state that you grew up in or that you took classes in. Because I had a lot of stuff focus on like the California Gold Rush and things like that, which
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Um, yeah, what was that? 18, was it 42, 92, something like that?
Oh gosh, I don't remember nowadays, but
Can't
yeah,
quite,
so right
or
prior to the Dust Bowl, and then
yeah,
yeah, all I
yeah, that's
remember is
pretty cool.
it was at the time there was also like electricity in New York City too, which is crazy to think about that there's cowboys out west and electricity, full on city life.
That is weird. Um, yeah, yeah, those old timey light bulbs, the Edison bulbs, are probably in
Mm-hmm.
use, and they probably had what like sonographs or whatever, record players. And then yeah, there's a bunch of guys out west wrangling stallions and doing cattle drives.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Tangent.
uh, yeah, yeah, absolutely. So back to the early religious influences. Um, okay, yeah, it looks like there is a list of the different religious sects that helped influence this. We got Anabaptists, Quakers, Lutherans, German Reforms, and also Catholics. Um, they all manner of religious mystics and freethinkers, and it was from this blending that the tradition was born. It says the majority of Pennsylvania Dutch were Protestant, but their folk religious culture was deeply rooted in practices of the pre Reformation era. So this includes the veneration of saints, which is, yeah, definitely a very Catholic thing, the use of folk adaptations, of blessings for everyday purchases, and the use of sacred objects and inscriptions for healing and protection.
Hmm.
And these practices were brought to North America and formed the basis of the oral and literary ritual traditions. Many early ritual traditions were rooted in the German language, but the term powwow became widely used by the speakers of English. Powwow was appropriated from the Algonquin language uh, by 17th century missionaries in New England.
Yeah, that
And
sounds about right.
yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Yeah, it must have been some type of native phrase. And this term, the Algonquin powwow, originally described a healer, derived from a verb implying trance or dreaming for divination or healing purposes. And evidence suggests the term was applied to the Pennsylvania Dutch out of a perceived similarity in ritual healing, consistent with its borrowed meaning in English for conjuration performed for the cure of disease and other purposes.
Hmm.
Okay, yes, that makes some sense if you're using yeah, certain objects or prayers, maybe a cool little dance to promote healing. I could see that
Yeah. It
being
sounds like it's
similar.
a. It sounds like it's a conglomeration of a lot of different aspects to make their to make this, which is um, how a lot of just modern day religions have kind of come about is that it's taking forms and aspects from a wide breadth of locales and influences.
Yep, yep, I agree. Yeah, with yeah, every major religion, you'll find many separate sects just based on you know different interpretations or practices or
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, when they celebrate a Sabbath day or what holidays or how they celebrate the holidays. So yeah, it's very easy to see how a bunch of influences at once can kind of birth something new. So pretty
Mm-hmm.
neat. Yeah, and let's see. By the 20th century, the term powwow became associated with the title of the English edition of a celebrated manual of ritual procedures. This manual was called Powwows or Long Lost Friend, written by John George Homan. It was first published in German. Oh boy, as Der Lange Verbejan Friend. I don't know. Either way, it translates to the long hidden friend. Oh, and that was in Reading, Pennsylvania, so that's pretty neat. And yeah, the tradition of Braucherei or Braucherei in Pennsylvania Dutch, the verb brausch means to use, employ, make use, or to need, while Braucherei implies a collection of traditional ways, customs, traditions, rituals, and ceremonies. Looks like there's a lot of literature for Braucherei, which makes sense if it had a whole lot of influences. Looks like one is simply the Bible, considered the most important book of Braucherei.
Classic.
Uh, yeah, no practitioner would work without their Bible on hand. I guess, especially if you're reliant on, like holy symbols or certain objects, that's probably a very simple one to secure and keep
Mm-hmm.
on you. But in addition to the Bible, there are also several other books. Uh, Looks like they categorized them as grimoires. And they were the Romanus Bjoslin and Egyptian Secrets of Albertus Magnus. Uh, Not really sure what those entail, but they
Yeah.
sound like pretty powerful books. I bet if you slap somebody on the head with the forehead, or jeez, slap someone on the forehead with one of those books, you'll dispel a lot of demons.
Pretty robust.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're possessed? Don't worry, I got the Egyptian secrets of Albertus Magnus. Definitely sounds like an Egyptian dude. Uh, Pretty cool.
In Secrets of Albertus Magnus.
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
wish.
you can buy it on Amazon for $20.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Wonder, yeah. All right, I guess we should become practicers of Brauchai and
There you go.
Brauchery and start healing people, learn the rituals. Yeah, there's additional works that were very important to some practitioners. Apparently, the sixth and seventh books of Moses. Uh, it was, I guess, sequel to the biblical five books of Moses, which I honestly don't know offhand. I think they're maybe the first five. Was it Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy?
Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy, baby. That sounds like a book that they would have used. That sounds like a cool one.
Has the
Um,
best name.
yeah, I know.
Deuter.
Like, what is it? What is a deuter? That there's a whole anonymy for it, you know? I don't know, but yeah, regardless.
Study of Deuter.
Yeah. Deuter? Deuteronomy? The study of Deuter? Yeah, where's Wombo? That's got to be one of the books. I Wombo. You Wombo.
He, she, me, we, Deuter.
Yeah. Hmm. Oh, that's awesome. Uh, right, so we got the additional secret books of Moses. Um, might have been most of the literature that goes on that people who practice Braucherei or powwowing were often women who used prayer as well as locally accepted folk remedies. Because they were individualized prayers and not incantations, the practice were seen as acceptable among the most devout Christians and were very popular. That's pretty interesting. So I guess as long as you made up your own prayer and didn't recite, I don't know, I guess common other ones, I guess it doesn't conflict with, I don't know, maybe having a foreign idol or something.
You gotta be unique.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I guess that's cool. I guess that works out. Regardless, the origins of a majority of the charms and spells utilized by the Braucherei are generally agreed upon to be remnants of medieval folk charms used by superstitious Catholics against illness and witchery. Um, yeah, so I guess maybe like ancient rosary beads, or maybe even like little saint figurines. I could see that being used. Yeah, or of course the shamrock maybe for St. Patrick, because that just happened recently. So maybe you'd go out, pick a four-leaf clover, and cure somebody of the plague.
That's how that works, right?
I think so, yeah. And going on, the Braucherei practitioner um, is often more closely allied with theology than medicine and feels they're a mediator between the patient and God. So, among the Pennsylvania Germans, the plain folks, such as Amish, Dunkers, and Mennonites, as well as the Lutheran and German Reformed church members, Pow-wow and the Pow-wow doctor had a significant following. Another characteristic practice is the Himmelsbrief, or Heaven's Letter, which I guess is maybe a sacred symbol. Um, and essentially, it's a Christian based folk magic belief system of rituals. And yeah, that pretty much concludes it. It's kind of funny because actually, my great grandmother had a copy of the Long Lost Friend book because their family was heavily Pennsylvania Dutch and they lived
Oh.
in the area for a very
Mm-hmm.
long time. So my brother has it now and he's always uh, raving on about how cool it is. So maybe I'll have to, yeah, read his copy and see. I remember it was talking about certain plants, um, like goldenrod, and how you can gather up goldenrod, and it's got those big yellow flowers, and it's supposed to like give you wealth or be associated with wealth or well-being. So
Interesting.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty neat. I'm sure there's all sorts of different herbs and um, things for it.
Give it a
But
peruse. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, so that will be all for the Braucherei, the Pow-wow Magic. So, well, thanks again for Caitlin. The topic was really cool. Love hearing about that, especially having. I wouldn't say I have any familiarity with it, but very vaguely. So, anyhow, we love hearing from all the listeners, all the suggestions, any stories, personal or otherwise. Feel free to send them. We'd love to read them. Everything's intriguing to us, so don't feel like you can't send it. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah, do you have any more insight on the Braucherei?
No, pretty interesting concept, or pretty interesting ideology that you can see a lot of influence from it, from where it got its influence, as well as like
Right.
potentially what it has kind of given influence to just within the region itself. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, well, that's all. Then I think we'll turn over to you, Kelly, for your topic.
Thanks, Cassie.
You're
Yeah,
quite welcome.
I've got a I've got a topic today that I've been informed has a bit of a spookiness to it. I'm
Oh,
going to be
good.
talking about the haunted Maruoka Castle in Japan. This is a place that, or this is a castle that's located in the Fukui, Japan region, and it is considered uh, just from the grounds. It's a very beautiful castle, like surrounded
Hmm.
by cherry blossom trees and beautiful vistas and venues.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
if you like look it up on Google, you can see that it's a fairly um, common tourist attraction, tourist area. I'd like to go see it one day. It'd be pretty cool. However, it does have a bit of a troubling history to it. In 1567, Lord Murkahan, who was the lord of that region, set out to build that castle. However, during the initial building of it, he kept running into a consistent and constant problem. Every time that there was a wall built, it would soon crumble, which when
Oh,
you're making
jeez.
a making a castle kind of makes it difficult to do so if your
Yeah.
walls keep falling down. um, This happened multiple times, and eventually some of his subordinates suggested that they try to utilize a human sacrifice by
Mm.
burying an individual alive and making a human pillar for the castle.
Oh wow. I wonder. Yeah, if that guy who got buried, if he like, agreed to that, or if they just kind of had to grab somebody and against their will. I
Could be
can't
one,
imagine. Yeah.
it could be one of those items where it's either you just uh, luck of the draw, you get the short straw, or it's considered an honorary thing. I'm unsure, and yeah,
Yeah, because while that would be terrible, I mean, to say you're the pillar, that might be kind of cool if it actually worked and like the whole building is
man,
like
yeah,
I don't know, supported. Regardless.
makes you think of like how often you're walking just around town and how many places have people like every just random buildings you walk by, like who's died in there, or like who's long lost buried underneath there. One
Oh,
of those out of sight
absolutely.
out of mind things.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. That's crazy to think about.
at the time of this, this human sacrifice was not a common practice item, and it was something that was really used as a last resort.
Mm.
So probably not something that people were volunteering for.
Yeah.
Um, One brave woman by the name of Oshizu, who was a widow, half blind, and had two children, so uh,
Not an easy life.
not an easy life. Um, and she was also leading an impoverished life in Maruka. Had
Jeez.
volunteered and consented to being the human sacrifice on one condition: that her son be made a samurai on one of the
Mm.
subjects to the Lord. Okay,
Yeah, that
so
makes sense.
securing a good spot for her
Right,
child
a
at
good
least.
future, yeah.
Promise was made, and Ushizu was buried alive under the center pillar of the castle, and building of the castle continued from there forward with no problems.
Weird.
Oh boy, it's.
Very weird.
Uh, uh, However, her promises were not kept and
Oh
had soon
no.
been forgotten when the Lord was reassigned to a new region. The spirit of Ushizu, of course, resented this betrayal, and so every year the moat around the castle floods with rain in April. Local people during that time called this the Tears of Oshizu and built
Oh,
a
okay.
grave to honor and pray for her soul.
Yeah, fair enough. Um, although that seems pretty beneficial, right? If you're flooding the moat, isn't that kind of the point?
Yeah, but if it overfloods,
Oh
uh,
yeah, yeah, that's a
goes
good point.
a bit excessive on it. Yeah,
Yeah, especially that water like then seeps into like crops or something. It's probably all nasty and stagnant.
right. But geez, all he had to do was keep his word, and wouldn't have this issue. No, but no, all the kid wanted to do was just become a samurai.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know if they're cool with human sacrifice. You think they'd be cool with letting the dude become a samurai.
But visitors of the castle often report that they see ghosts in dark corners in certain areas of the castle, and that they feel the temperature just get very, very cold at
Mm,
certain times. So there's talk and theorizing of with that it's the vengeful spirit of Ishizu wandering the castle grounds.
right.
Uh, but that is the Maruka Castle hauntings. Uh, would you go and visit and pay your respects to Shizu? Or if any of you have ever been, let us know. And that's all that I have for us today, kiddos.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely a lot of spooky history, especially in Japan. That's just such an ancient area, and like all those years of tradition and honoring. Well, in this case, I guess dishonoring. The dead and their relatives. So
Yeah. The
yeah,
the local people trying to honor her, but yeah, the
yeah,
Lord, the what was his name? Uh,
Maruka something
Maruka Han.
nice. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Um, I when you were saying that, I was thinking of this, and I know this isn't right. It's making me think of from Mulan, which of course takes place in China, but when the general is singing the "Make a Man Out of You" song, what if the Lord was singing like "Make a Castle Out of You" because he's burying these people alive, right?
Oh my gosh.
Or maybe Wall. Wall would probably fit pretty well, right?
Make
I'll
a
make a wall out of you.
view.
Oh,
Oh
that would
boy.
be so cool. Oh
Nice.
man, that's funny. Uh, cool, cool. So right, so we covered the Maruoka Castle. We covered the Braucherei. Uh, and
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's it.
those are both fun ones. Mine was a nice little short one, but with that,
Yeah.
I'll leave us with the usual then, I guess. Until next time.
Stay strange.
And happy April Fools!
We did it. That
That's
worked.
good. That's good. Shut up.